That brings us to the 6th mission under tier 1 for the Crown faction, called Whistleblower. Most players will end up skipping this mission due to the fact that it is quite difficult and all of its tasks need to be done on Ashika Island, the new area introduced in Season 2. This area is super popular right now, obviously, because it's brand new, and it is quite difficult with the amount of enemy players that are roaming around trying to do this mission as well as other objectives. The other reason is also that this mission requires the use of a key, namely the City Hall hideout key, and of course if you lose this key, then you're not able to progress in the mission and you have uno problemos. Now, first things first, the tier 1 mission Health Conscious for the Legion faction actually gives you one of these keys, so that is your most direct route to having one of these keys in your inventory. Otherwise, you can also find these on Ashika Island. Well, technically speaking, you can find them anywhere, but killing HVTs and going into strongholds has a possibility of also rewarding you with one of these keys. Now, to give you an idea of how difficult it is to farm this, in about 30 to 35 deployments onto Ashika Island, I have found one other copy of this key, and that is probably the reason why this is frustrating, or could be frustrating for players, because if you lose that key, it is going to be difficult finding another one. Even though this guide is created from a solo perspective and I did it solo, there is no shame in butting up with randoms or other players to do this, since that way at least you can have some additional fallback in case something goes awry. But nonetheless, if you have the key and you're ready to rock, you are expected to take the governor's laptop from the Ashika Island Town Hall, which is the key. You're going to need to open up that town hall so you can get to the laptop. Then you have to take the laptop across the street to a dead drop, which is right above the beach club, and throw it in there. And you also need to throw a screwdriver into the dead drop in the same deployment. Now, you absolutely need to do all of this in one go. There are some missions which are currently bugged. This is unfortunately not one of them. I tested this, so you have to be throwing a screwdriver as well as the laptop into this dead drop. As soon as you spawn in, you're going to be making your way towards this area of the map. This is the town hall that you need to get into, and right between this round structure here and the service station sits the dead drop that you need to deposit the screwdriver as well as the laptop into. Now, as you make your way towards there, and I would consider that you should hasten and do that as fast as possible to kind of avoid players that are setting up there to ambush people that come to do the mission, as well as other players that might do the mission, because there is only one laptop. As you get close to the area, do loot some toolboxes along the way and try and find yourself a screwdriver. But once you get to the town hall, it's time to go to work. Once you pop the bottom open, this is a standard issue stronghold kind of setup. So you have some tier 3 elites rather running around, which are quite difficult to kill. These are Shadow Company guys, so they're fucking rough. But also you have some shield guys. So as you go in, pop off on these guys, use elevation, move in between the floors and gunfight them down, and clear out as much of this AI as possible so that you can move on to phase 2 of the plan, which is on the ground floor going into this desk area here, and that is exactly where you will find the governor's laptop. Now, once you have this laptop, simply hightail it across the road as mentioned to behind that service station, and that is where you're going to find the dead drop where you throw the laptop into. Now, I was super fortunate that when I went into the service station right next to this dead drop, I found a screwdriver in a toolbox in there. Maybe the same can happen for you, but that is of course not guaranteed since it's RNG what are in these toolboxes. Once you do all of this, you will get instant completion. You don't need to extract anything like that, and that will get this relatively difficult mission done and dusted.